Donald Trump is, as always, finding unique, novel ways to steal campaign donations, basically taking the money that his MAGA cultists give to him, those who might not have much money to give, but they want to be a part of the Trump thing. And so they give their last $10 or their last $25, and they give it to Trump so he can win the election. And instead, he's stealing millions of those dollars. So far in this campaign, at least from what they've been able to track down, he has moved $4.6 million of campaign money into his business empire. So it used to be campaign money, now it's his money. He gets to keep it. He can spend it on guns or whatever if he wants to. And so that's according to a review of FEC records. So the bulk of that cash so far, some $4.2 million, has gone to one of Trump's aviation companies, TAG Air, which he has an aviation company still. That one didn't go bankrupt. Did anyone even know that this existed? He apparently did because he's enriching himself through it. The Secret Service, which has to, by law, travel with Donald Trump, has paid more than $800,000 for airfare to his campaign, perhaps contributing some of that $4.2 million. And needlessly so, he's flying. Why do they have to pay? It's his plane. They're there to protect him. What? And by the way, sorry, I'm an idiot. I said they pay, like the Secret Service pay. We're paying. That's our money. That was tax money that went to the Secret Service, and now it's going to him. Okay, so that wasn't even specifically MAGA money. I like fronted a little bit of that, a couple pennies, I guess. But anyway, it's not just airfare. Also, Trump's 2024 campaign has spent $332,000 at Mar-a-Lago, the private club that serves as his personal residence. So he has campaign events there at his house, and they pay Mar-a-Lago, which he owns and lives at, for his campaign events. There's no need to pay at all, but why not? It's just stupid MAGA people's money from his point of view. Why shouldn't he steal a whole bunch of it? His campaign also spent $20,000 at Trump National Doral, that's his Miami golf resort. Another $36,000 went to the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. And before we get to the response to this, let me just pause for a second to remind you, it's $20,000 here, $36,000 there, $300,000 on the side. So that's significant money. For you or I, that would be a lot of money. If I ever ran for office or something, that would be a lot of money to have raised. But doesn't it seem like the most piddly, needless, spiteful theft by Donald Trump? He has billions of dollars and he's stealing $36,000. Needlessly. Now, it's a lot of money when you break it down into all of the individual donations. You know, someone who owns a small business in Phoenix or whatever, like a retired MAGA person in Florida, they give $10, they give $5, they give $100. You add all of that up. So many people who love and admire Donald Trump. No, it's mine. I take it. I send it to my club or I send it over to the golf course. It's mine. It's not going to the campaign anymore. Jesus. Well, this doesn't look good for Trump, so a strong response from his campaign is needed. And here is what we have instead. A spokesperson for his campaign deflected from the criticism, criticizing Joe Biden's travel to Delaware from DC. He traveled to Delaware, okay? And Hunter Biden's overseas business dealings, which exist, I guess. The evidence is gonna come someday, while pointing out that Trump donated his $400,000 a year White House salary and left office poorer than he entered it. Look, did he donate his salary? They say that he did. I haven't seen any proof that he did, but I'm perfectly willing to accept that he did. That's $400,000. He's made countless millions while in office off the fact that he's president. He has stolen countless tens of millions from his own fans. And look, I personally think that if you robbed me of money, but then donated a very small fraction of your salary, I guess back to the US government, what does that have to do with the theft you just perpetrated against me? I donated that to your campaign, not so it could just sit in some bank account accruing interest. Why would I be interested in a billionaire getting more money? But then again, it does seem to be a very popular position on the right. So maybe I'm just confused about that. But I also want to be clear, all of this appears to be accurate, the theft, millions of dollars, and we're just getting started. There's gonna be millions more that he's gonna rob his fans for. But if it seems like it's getting worse over time, that's because it actually is. If you go back to the 2016 race, he invested $66 million of his own campaign, or his own money into his campaign. So that's more than the $13 million that his campaign paid his business. Now that $13 million could be zero, but at least he gave more money to the campaign than he got from it. He also got far more in donations, so never believe the lies, the myth making that he self-funded his campaign. It was still largely on the back of big donors. But in 2016, at least it was a net negative. In 2020, he gave nothing to his campaign. He was done with that. And he did continue to collect money from the campaign, though. He moved $3 million of donor funds into his business. So suddenly we're not negative anymore, we're positive, at least for a few $1,000,000. This election, he's already exceeded that amount. And we're a month away from the RNC, months away from the actual election. So he's gonna certainly multiple times overlap that. And so he appears to be learning over time. I'm not gonna waste my money getting elected, and I'm going to rob you, and I'm gonna rob you even more because he's seen over the course of the past 2 elections that the Republicans aren't gonna do anything about it. They're gonna continue to shower him with money, despite all of the support that he has. And I'll remind you, other Trump-connected groups have also paid his businesses. So we're talking about like his campaign stealing, but there's all the leadership PACs and the affiliated super PACs and all of that, all of them raising money that is supposed to go to his campaign. They're also giving his businesses money. And so when you add it all up, it's about $7 million already that he has taken. And again, I have no confidence whatsoever that any MAGA people are gonna have a problem with the fact that he is routinely picking their pockets. But I would at least remind them, according to him, he is worth $6.4 billion. Why does he need to steal $7 million from you? Why does he need to do any of this? Why, and this is a much bigger issue, why does he need your donations at all? He could spend a small fraction of the wealth he has to do his entire run for office, not even counting all the free media and paid all that he's gonna get and all that. He would still be a many times over billionaire, and you guys would get to keep your money. He could even say, here's why I'm doing it. Normally, I'd accept your donations, and I know many of you want to give me donations, and I love that you want to be a part of this campaign, but you know what? You all have been wrecked by the Joe Biden inflation. And so what I'm gonna do is, in some small part, I'm gonna try to make good on that. Don't give me your donations. Instead, put it into overpriced eggs and milk and gas and whatever, and they'll tell all sorts of lies about inflation. But you could say that, and he would still have all the money he needs and more to run for office. But you've seen the pattern over these 3 elections. That is not at all how he sees his donors. He sees them as a piggy bank, and not just for his campaign, not just saving him from having to self-fund his campaign, but he also takes a little bit on the side. Money that to you and I would be huge. To him, it's a small fraction of his wealth, but still worth robbing them for. I'll never understand these people. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.